Today I'm going to sit down with one of these local characters and hear about his hero's journey and what brought him to St. Augustine and some of his favorite experiences. I'm here in beautiful St. Augustine, the oldest city in the country, a true melting pot of culture and traditions. Still to this day, this town is filled with local reenactors and visitors alike who bring the culture and history of the city to life every day. I'm out here with Captain William Mayhem. What's your favorite place to eat here in town?
Well, I'm very partial because I am the voice in the face of the Pirate and Treasure Museum, and because the Pirate Museum and the Colonial Quarter work hand in hand, I'm really very partial to the St. Augustine Seafood Company. And tonight I actually just had fish and chips from the Bull and Crown. Oh man, was that wonderful. So the Bull and Crown and the St. Augustine Seafood House. Now there are a few other places I like to go. I do enjoy having a good sandwich over at O'Malley's. They have good sandwiches and a good beer. I like them. The Columbia House is wonderful too. I like them. But I'm still partial to the properties that I work with, and that would be the Bull and Crown and the St. Augustine Seafood Company.
Chef Brooke has really done a great job since she came on board here at the Bull and Crown, and they reopened just a few weeks ago.
Absolutely.
Transforming this menu. What did you have tonight?
Tonight I had the fish and chips. My mother's side of the family is English, so fish and chips are probably ingrained in us. And one of the people here in the Bull and Crown, Trish,
Yes.
she said, you got to try the fish and chips. It's to die for. And I said, okay, I'll take your word for it. She's right. It is to die for. 2 wonderful hunks of good fresh cod, done exactly the way it's supposed to be done, with malt vinegar, of course, and a really good dill dipping, and it was just wonderful. So she's brought this place way up to what it needs to be again.
When I met Trish, she was working over at O'Malley's, in
O'Malley's.
fact, and then moved on to the Prince of Wales, which
Yep.
is now closed.
Yep. Trish is a staple here in St. Augustine. She's British, and many of us that have been here for long periods of time, we know her from O'Malley's or the Prince of Wales, and now we have her, we're lucky enough to have her here at the Bull and Crown, which is a British pub. It's a wonderful place to come and have a good pint or a good meal. But we have such great restaurants and great bars, and we could sit here and name all of them, or a bunch of them, but it is just a unique experience, and that's what these people up and down St. George Street give you, is an experience, and that's what it should be.
One of the things that visitors tell me that they love the most is wandering up and down St. George Street here. We're right across from Ben's Pretzels right now.
Aye.
They have a beautiful courtyard back there where they host events, private events, weddings, all sorts of things. I love to stop in at one place and have an appetizer, move on and have dinner at another, and then go and have dessert at another spot. So kind of a little food stroll.
Their courtyard is kind of a little known secret too.
Yes.
A lot of people don't know about it, so we're hoping that people will know more about it and do that. And you're right. You could have a snack tour all the way up and down St. George Street. Try a bit of food here, a bit of food there. You'll be full by the time you make it to the end of the street. And it's the wine and the beer that goes with it. I'm a pirate, so I'm partial to rum, and so many of them have great rums here. And that's another thing. If you like rum, or you like tequila, or you like whiskey, almost every one of the bars will do what's called a flight. And for a certain expenditure, you're going to get 4 samples of whatever it is you want, rum or tequila. And that's a wonderful way. If you're not in the knowledge of good rum or good tequila or good whiskey or good rye, that's a wonderful way to try it, because they're just little 3-4 ounce shots that you sip and enjoy. And almost everybody does that. And that's a great way to try your alcohol without worrying about getting inebriated. St. Augustine's also one of the places I laughingly, jokingly say, St. Augustine's one of the only places in the world that I can wander through the city with a real sword, real pistol, real knives, real weapons. Old world, of course, nothing modern. And nobody questions it. It's natural to people. And people just kind of grow to expect to see people wandering through the city dressed here. We have reenactors here in the town that on a regular basis they do what they call a saunter, and they're some of the reenactors that represent so many of the different periods of St. Augustine's history. And on a Saturday night, you can see them, 24 of them, in various garb and clothing from several different decades, even 2 centuries. And they're knowledgeable on the clothes they're wearing and knowledgeable on what they know of their period of history at St. Augustine. And it's a wonderful time to stop them. They will talk to you. And it's not just pirates. We've got all kinds of people here that know the history of St. Augustine and love to wander up and down the street and share that knowledge with tourists. That's a good thing.
Check out our recent tour of the Pirate and Treasure Museum. Be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss the second half of our interview with Captain Mayhem.